Hey guys, I hope you are all doing well. Today I wanted to talk about the actions and words of many blinks around the world. I am sure that if you have spent some time following Blackpink then you will see tons of comments bashing YG and his management skills. And I am going to be completely honest during this whole video, so let me just put it out there. I do understand and support the bashing, but to a limit. I don't support the comments that want him killed or whatever, especially because he is actually a they. But don't get me wrong, I won't be giving the company a smile anytime soon. Just a piece of my mind. I am going to first show you guys an amazing edit that marks most of the more controversial things YG has done really quickly. I am really sad I can't credit the person who made this because I don't know who it is.
YG Entertainment is now facing bitter criticism from the public. Although the agency's owner has stepped down, the negative sentiment against YG Entertainment keeps growing.
I don't like your little games, don't like your tilted stage, the role you made me play, the fool. I don't like you, I don't like your perfect crime, how you laugh when you lie, you said the gun was mine, it's cool, I don't like you, but I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time, I need a rose upon the bed, I do it all the time, I got a list of names and yours is in red underlined, I check it once, then I check it twice, look what you made me do, look what you made me do, look what you just made me do, look what you just made me do, look what you made me do, look what you made me do, look what you just made me do, look what you just made me do.
Now let's go a little more into depth. Let me just put something out there. YG isn't an idiot to be making most of the decisions they have made. I and most blinks know that. The issue is that their decisions don't really consider their artists and their fans' best interest. And one more thing. I and everybody else out there don't really know how Jennie, Josue, Lisa, and Rosé feel about anything. So no, if I ever mention something from their point of view, I am just guessing or interpreting something they might have said. Let me start with the most current things blinks are angry about, because it all ties into the past since YG hasn't actually responded to anything we have said as of the 19th of March 2020. But he has given us a lot of possibly false promises, more on that later. Right now the biggest issue is that we still don't have a comeback. Their last comeback was on the 5th of April 2019. That means we are literally less than a month away from hitting the 1-year hiatus mark. And blinks are not happy. It's not a crime to have a year-long hiatus, of course. But it's really disheartening when it becomes a pattern and the girls do want to have a comeback. I am saying that based off this clip of Jennie.
A lot of you guys are asking for a comeback. It's hard to ignore because it hurts my feelings just to read them and just ignore. I'm not ignoring, guys, it's just that we are not too sure. So since I can't give you a proper answer for your question regarding the comeback thing, I'm just gonna have to pretend I didn't see them. So yeah, that's my answer for now. I'm sorry, but we're always working on our song, our new song, our new album, so don't give up, guys. Let's not give up, both of us.
Between Square Up and Kill This Love there was also a nearly year-long hiatus, and with the exception of good old 2016, Blackpink is known to have large extended breaks. This is really frustrating in the K-pop world, as other groups usually have 2 to 3 comebacks a year. On top of that, those comebacks we do get are mini albums, not full albums. Blackpink is a nearly 4-year-old group with global attention but no full album. It's actually pretty shocking. Blackpink was actually supposed to have their comeback in November 2019 last year, or at least that's what a lot of reliable people have been saying. But what made YG delay it? Of course, blinks usually jump to the worst conclusions. But who can blame us? I say it is the scandals. And now YG delayed it again due to the virus. Which leads me to my next explanation. To an outsider, we Blinks might seem selfish and dumb to be mad about the comeback being delayed because it is the virus that is shaking the whole world right now. We don't want Blackpink coming back during the virus, I promise you. We just don't like it because it almost seems like YG is making a fool of us Blinks. We had all this time without the virus but they still couldn't come back. That's what we are mad about. Even though YG couldn't give Blackpink a comeback for some reason, they seem ready to debut a whole other girl group. I see history repeating itself. I am not even a fan of 2NE1 since I only joined the K-pop world around 2017. Even then I was barely connected. But I really hate the way 2NE1 ended and the marks it left of Blackpink. To be honest, with the amount of fans and the awful treatment Blackpink holds, the new girl group will get tons, and I mean tons, of hate. And it isn't fair. Blackpink has 3 more years left in their contract too. How the heck is YG going to manage 2 girl groups when we have to wait a year for just Blackpink's comeback alone? Then we have something else we have been waiting on for what seems like centuries, only to get nothing, absolutely nothing from YG. Not even a statement. Rose's solo. Forget Josue and Lisa, we still haven't had Rose's solo mentioned, while Jennie's solo was 2 years ago. YG promised us a solo from all the girls in a now deleted tweet. And I have a bad feeling we aren't getting it. Ever. Broken promises aren't cool and it sure doesn't make for a happy fandom. Of all the girls, who was the lucky one who got her solo? Jennie Kim, nicknamed YG's princess. But she really is treated far from it. Aren't you supposed to give a princess a lot of respect? Jennie Kim is a sweet, hardworking, and very deserving person. But she is one of the most hated on idols in the industry. And instead of supporting her and taking actions against the awful things people have said, they usually make it worse. When Jennie was called lazy, they didn't explain anything, just blocked videos on YouTube. When Jennie was exposed by Dispatch, they made ridiculous and honestly funny statements. And they just don't seem to do anything to prevent the hate. Just take their Samsung event in Indonesia for example. On the topic of members, the next member I want to talk about is Lisa. There are tons of ways Lisa gets mistreated, for example how she gets paid less just because she is a foreigner. YG also hasn't given her a solo nor a dance break. Lisa is one of the most well-known dancers in K-pop and she still hasn't got a dance break. It was even choreographed but YG rejected it. Lisa also gets the worst clothing for most events and the least amount of clothing changes on tours. She often wears the same outfit for many cities while the other girls get changes. Then the most disgusting thing is that YG doesn't defend her from comments similarly to Jennie, except Lisa gets nasty comments about her roots. Racism is disgusting and I really wish YG would do something about it. But here we are. Next up we have Rosie. Rosie of course still hasn't gotten her solo, but there is more to her mistreatment. Rosie is given the least amount of solo activities out of the group. And it isn't like we have a difference of 1 or something. There are months where the other members have 2 to 5 solo activities while Rosie has none. Solo activities include magazine shoots, fashion shows, and TV show appearances. Not to mention she isn't a major ambassador like Jennie is to Chanel or something like that. Last but not least we have Josue, arguably the most mistreated. While Josue gets a fair share of solo activities compared to Rosé, she still is mistreated in so many ways. I have to agree, a lot of mistreatment is from fans. She has the least amount of Instagram followers by a lot and other things like that. I feel like YG should be doing something about that, but you know. Also I don't understand why Josue can't act. She even trained for it before becoming an idol. They have these long hiatuses, but the only role YG let her have was like 3 seconds off screen time and half a line. I feel like if Josue gets acting opportunities she will be leveled out with her other members better, since she doesn't get to do as much solo activities, have a YouTube channel, or do covers. Now this isn't that big of an issue, but it is to me personally. I really dislike the amount of control YG has over Blackpink. Blackpink isn't allowed to write lyrics, change up choreo for music shows, etc. I also feel like the girls have heavily controlled diets and they can't say whatever they would like. While I don't have the strongest proof, it is something I think is worth mentioning. For example, I found it really strange how Jennie would get up from the table and take pictures during the times they were supposed to be eating on Blackpink House, or that restaurant in Thailand where she barely touched her food. Now I might be making stuff up, so don't take what I said too seriously please. I feel like the day YG lets Jennie and even the other girls write a song completely, I will be really happy. Next I wanted to cover more about the empty promises YG keeps handing Blinks. There are a ton of instances, but I think the biggest one is that we were supposed to get all of the solos at the end of 2019. And here we are March 2020 and we don't even have Rose's solo. He also said that the girls would have 2 comebacks, but as we know their second one was delayed to early 2020 and then further delayed to who knows when. Another empty promise is when Kyoha winners attend the 2019 MMAs to see Blackpink, and they weren't even there. We don't actually know whose fault it was, but YG had every possibility to fix the issue beforehand, didn't they? And now we were promised a huge global project. Knowing YG, don't get your hopes up, really happy. Now let's talk about probably one of the biggest reasons I personally hate YG. It's the way us Blinks ask, request, and push for all these things we should be getting and YG does nothing. He barely ever responds. It takes a freaking billboard to get him to write a paragraph filled with empty promises. They just sit there and take their free promotion and do nothing. If YG cared about how Blinks or the girls felt, they would have given us solos, a full album, better treatment, or at least a statement explaining why they aren't. At this rate nothing is going to change and Blackpink and Blinks alike will continue to be upset and mistreated. Which is why the debut of the new girl group is really upsetting. Not to mention that Big Bang is coming back. Once they're back I can see YG shoving Blackpink under the rug for them, and dedicating the company's time and money on Big Bang again. I feel like everything wrong or controversial about Blackpink goes back to the management of YG. The day the company actually gets a grip on what they are doing, nobody will be able to hold back Blackpink. Let's just hope it happens soon. Bye for now.